Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Translation. All the different varieties of fire sacrifices, Sodisi, Uktha, Purishi, Agnistoma, Ap Toryama, Atiratra, Vajpaya, Goshava became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma. Translation. Education, charity, finance, and truth are said to be the four legs of religion. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classification of caste according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. Purport. The nucleus of the four social orders, brahmacharya or student life, grahastha or household family life, vanprastha or retired life for practicing penance, and sannyasa or renounced life for preaching the truth, is the four legs of religion. The vocational divisions are the brahmanas or the intelligent class, kshatriyas or administrative class, the vaishyas, mercantile, productive class, and the sudras or general laborer class, who have no specific qualifications. All were systematically planned and created by Brahma for the regular promotion of self-realization. Student life is meant for acquiring the best education. Household family life is meant for gratifying the senses, provided it is performed with a charitable disposition of mind. Retirement from household life is meant for penance, for advancement in spiritual life, and renounced life is meant for preaching the absolute truth to the people in general. The combined action of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for the upliftment of mission of human life. The beginning of this social institution is based on education meant for purifying the animal propensities of human being. The highest purificatory process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Vidyadanam tapa satyam dharmash eti padani cha ashramamsh cha yatha sankyam asrajat sah vrittivi. So, as we are reading how Brahma, the secondary creator, in ultimate sense, the Lord is a primary creator of everything. So, secondary creator means it comes through Brahma. So that's called Visarga. So Brahma could able to suitably create the whole universe because he is empowered by the Lord. And as it is mentioned in the purport, Prabhupada is writing, the beginning of the social institution is based on education, meant for purifying the animal propensity of human life. So, now we know human being also one kind of animal. So, animal propensity means to gratifying the senses. No rules and regulation. Often Prabhupada used to give an example. When you break the traffic light or traffic rules, now even if there's a red light, if you break, you will be punished. But have you seen any time dog is breaking and his traffic man is coming to punishing him? No. So as animal is not meant for following the rules and regulations. But on the contrary, because the human life as a very responsible life, and that responsibility comes by following the instructions, rules and regulation given in the Shastras, Guru Sadhu Shastra. So, as it is mentioned in this particular verse, the brahmachari life for Varna and for Ashrama. Varna is like to organize a society so that the whole thing can go on systematically. Like you require someone who can give the direction, like Brahmana called intelligent class, and more so regarding the purpose of life. And always there will be some violence, because we are in material world. There is some violence. There will be some people will not follow rules and regulation. So someone has to correct them, force them to follow. So that is called Kshatriya class. Now some direction is coming. What is the purpose of life and everything? And someone is not following, somebody is there to correct. By these two, things will not go. Yes or no? In homes, let's say everyone reading everything, Bhagavad Gita, they are, let's say, devotee, and they're nicely protecting. Things will not go. They require food to eat. Very important. Food is not there, prasadam is not there, nothing will work. Yeah, we're not able to even do service to Krishna. So run the society, Vaishyas are equally important. There is degradation, but still you require someone to grow the grains, somebody has to take care of the cows, somebody has to do the trading. So it can be reach out to everyone. But to do all these three, you require assistance. Not everyone cannot be done by everyone. Not everything cannot be done by everyone. So you require even the Sudra, the lower class, to just follow what is being told. Now, sometimes it so happens, some devotee will be very, I would say, intelligent. Whatever you ask, anything, you ask 10 questions. So sometimes we get pissed off. That's why someone have faith and just follow. So even societies, they will require people to just sit, they just follow. So the Sudra class, because if they're not properly trained, so even the logic will be faulty. See, asking questions is not denied, but the inquiries should be submissive inquiries. ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि किसी को मूर्ख को इंस्ट्रक्शन देने से जो है नो ब्रेन, वो क्या होता है, अच्छे इंस्ट्रक्शन देने से गुस्सा आता है. तो what can happen, not to give them direction, you require some brain for them to if the logic is not fitting, you may not be able to do so. So these all created by Brahma is the Chaturvarnyam Maya Shishta. Maya means Krishna's. Krishna designed came through Brahma. So it is said that the Vidya Danam Tapa Satyam. So Vidya is mainly meant for called education for brahmacharis. They should spend more time for studying the Shastra. Now when you join some company office, training is given. If training is not proper, then it may go on for some time, things will not be very productive. So that Vidya education, where the brahmachari spend most of the time, is staying in the ashram of Guru. So that training is very important. So that is the beginning of life. Training, you just those who get into some new professions, new academics, training is required. So that is called brahmachari life. And further Prabhupada is mentioning the next verse. Prabhupada is saying here in this. During student life, the brahmacharis were given full instructions about the importance of human form of life. So brahmacharis is to understand, Prabhupada says, brahmachari means the mind should be always meditating on Brahman. Like Brahman, Janate Brahman. So when mind is, so during student life, the brahmacharis were given full instructions about the importance of human life. Thus, the basic education was designed to encourage a student in becoming free from family encumbrances. So the brahmachari means abstaining completely for the sex life. Prabhupada says the sex life is allowed only in the Grastha ashrama. Out of 4 ashrama, brahmachari, vanprashta and sannyas, there is no sex. Only is allowed. That too very regulative. That too very, very regulated, very systematically. Ultimate aim is to completely abstaining from the sex life. Last class we have discussed, if someone cannot follow very strict instructions in the beginning, so the gradual process is given to him. Like the Vedas, we have a two marga, pravritti, nivritti marga. One marga, gradual upliftment is not wrong. Gradually is making progress. So the Vedas which talks about the gradual process, karma kanda, jnana kanda, then move to Vipassana, is not wrong. In general, this process can be followed. But to quick progress, certain for this is slow doses or called strong doses. So if one is ready to, we say slow recovery and fast recovery. So the strong instruction has to be followed. If he has to get cure fast, he has to follow strong instructions. So here it is said that thus the basic education was designed to encourage the student in becoming free from family in comparison. Family life means sex life. There is no saying the family is not required. You live, work in that one direction. So family is called Grahmedis, being not Grahastha, Grahmedis described here. Only students unable to accept such a vow in life were allowed to go home and marry a suitable wife for some time instead. So the ultimate training to abstaining completely. If one cannot do so completely at a one this thing, so allowed to go to home, get married, stay for some time, and ultimately is to come out. Otherwise, a student would remain a permanent brahmachari, observing complete abstinence from sex life for his whole life. It all depends on the quality of student training. So Prabhupada is saying is all depends on the quality of student training. How they are trained. If they are trained under a well devotee, the pure devotee under, then it is all depend on the quality of the student training. Prabhupada is writing, we had an opportunity to meet about brahmachari in the personality of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj. Such a great soul is called Nastika Brahmachari. So that training should be there, where is very absolutely clear. So the Swadhyaya Adhyana is very important for the brahmachari. For everyone is required, but brahmachari is very, very important. Because the basic training has to be done properly. Because the basic training is not done properly, then later on it becomes difficult. Even Charnak Pandit says, no? After 15 years it becomes very difficult. Till 15 years, some very strong. Afterwards you cannot. Like a bamboo. When it's green you can bend. But if it's become brownish, and then if you bend it will break. So here Brahma, he has created everything. So you see, Vidya, the education for the brahmachari is very important. Then Dhanam, Mostly dana is meant for grahastha. Compulsory, mandatory for them. Prabhupada says the grahastha, they take care of all other three, the people falling on other three ashrama. They do earning, trading, cultivation. This is all done by in the grahastha ashram. So Prabhupada said, according to the example set by the Sat Goswami, especially the Rupa Sanatana Goswamis, the 50% income, whatever you earn, should be used to service to Krishna. To give into the Brahmana and the Vaishnavas. So that dhanam. Then tapa. Tapa is meant for banprashtas. Prabhupada is writing retired life. So, now beginning 25 years, Prabhupada described for brahmachari. Then if he can continue well and good, if he cannot do so, the next 25 years he can remain at home. So don't live at home till you die. Then after 50 years, you must leave the home. That was in the Vedic system. And what he should do then, one person is to go to the, Prabhupada is writing here, go to the forest, amongst the pilgrim places, and do the tapaha, penances. And it's called Satyam. Satyam means truth. So the sannyasis should have only one work, to preach the absolute truth. Truth means here the absolute truth. You must not have any other purpose. Accumulation is only allowed to the grahasthas to accumulate. Especially the sannyasis is not supposed to accumulate anything. It is mentioned one place, sannyasis should not have even second clothing. One clothing, that's it. One get extra, he should give it what he has. No accumulation. Full faith in Krishna, Krishna will provide me whenever required. So that complete dependency on Krishna. So that's called Vidya Danam Tapa Satyam Dharmas Eti Padanicha. So these has to be very meticulously has to be followed if one is really interested to move on devotional path. A common thread in everything is called devotion to Krishna. If devotion to Krishna is not there, these all so-called good qualities become useless. Now, dhanam, if you do to the not in relation to Krishna, is not much meaningful. Vidya, same education about if Krishna is not there, then other things will not carry much meaning. Tapa, austerities, like nidra, har, bihar, kadi, vichito. See, if one follow a lot of austerity, but if Krishna is not there, then it's not much meaningful. But in the Varnashrama system was designed in such a manner that all require service from each other Like Prabhupada said, to maintain the body, you require every part. Eyes are required to see, hand is required to carry the food, mouth is required to chewing the food, stomach the digestion. So all are required in cooperation. So here Prabhupada is writing the purport, all fall order or ashramas, varnashrama, to cooperate each other. And to cooperate each other so that, what is the last time Prabhupada is writing? Before that. The combined action of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for uplifting of the mission of human life. So they support each other. Even Devi Varnashrama also, you require everything where one can help another. So even run an organization, run any system, you get a different part. And they part support, help each other so that everyone of that can get benefited. And Prabhupada is writing, the education meant for purifying the animal propensity of human life. Prabhupada always says, education doesn't mean ABCD 1, 2, 3. To purify, all we have some degree of animal propensities. Even sometime animal, so much so that he don't care for his spouse or children, he grab and want to eat. But one place Prabhupada writes, I think in the Isopnishat preface, animals are sometimes little better also compared to in Kali Yuga. Prabhupada gives one example. You take one small plate, put some grains, some rice, and put it onto the terrace. Pigeons will come and take whatever they can have. Did you see any time they're bringing one bag, thela, filling and carrying, and let me store for the tomorrow if I don't get what will happen? So they're also whatever required. They may eat more in that time, or they leave it. So we all have some degree of animal propensities. So the education should be to come out from that animal propensities. So which turns out to be 6 vikara. It's, Kama, Krodha, Loha, Moha, Matsarya. So lust, greed, anger, envy, jealousy. And this can only, one can be aloof if one come to the pure devotional platform. Without bhakti, there's no way to get rid of these contamination in the heart. Paul says, whatever, one may be very gentleman, but if he's not devotee, it cannot be trustworthy. It may look like as long as things are going, it will be there. Only devotees can be true trustworthy. Like another example is given, I think, 9th or 10th canto, where Parikshit Maharaj asking Sukadeva Goswami about the atonement. So, 3 example is given, if you cut a tree is not visible, then rainy season will come, tree will go. Another, you burn the tree, even the top level that is not visible also. But still, the root is there, what will come again will go. So this is called Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda is like cutting the tree. Jnana Kanda is like burning the tree. But the root is not gone. enjoying tendency. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakliya sant. Krishna bhakt, niskam, atev shant. So as long as even they wanting mukti, want to merge, as long as we have a desire, I want, till then sakliya sant. No, that's the reason. Kevalyam narkayate. That's also to merging into the Brahman. So this animal propensity has to be checked in the human form of life. If they are not done, then they are as good as animal. They may looking as a human being. And further Prabhupada is writing the purport, the highest purificatory process is knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So highest level of purificatory process, the process to become purifying, is called the transcendental knowledge about Krishna. So like in the 15th chapter, what is the last verse? 15th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. What is the verse? If you know Krishna, you know Sa Sarvivit Janati Purushottama. What is that? Yo mam evam asammudho janati purushottama. 19. So if sa sarvivit bhajanti imam sarvbhavena bhav. So knowing Krishna or knowing Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead is not that simple. It's simple also, but our complicated mind is not that simple. Full faith in the conviction on protection and know that He's all in all. Prabhupada, that's the reason Prabhupada never says God or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in the preface of Bhagavatam beginning, Prabhupada says Saman in Bonam. To know Krishna in all. So that knowledge of the Divyagyan in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, so powerful, it can turn all the sinful reaction into the ashes, like a fire turns the firewood into the ashes. Jivar Sharup hoy Krishna Nityadas. So that knowledge, I am the eternal servant of Krishna, if that is realized, all your reactions can go off. Actually, Krishna is not so happy to give you pain, to give you suffer so that you suffer. Krishna does not really want. He is the Supreme Father. Why the Father will want? Then why Krishna is not nullifying all the reactions, sinful reactions which you are carrying? Because we are not ready to surrender to Krishna. We are not ready to follow the Krishna instruction completely. Now, this is a common video which Prabhupada, somebody asks how long it takes to go back to Krishna. Prabhupada says, 1 minute. Are you not reading Bhagavad Gita? Like this Prabhupada mentioned that devotee. So if we get corrected, Krishna will finish up all the business. But we are not ready to get corrected now. We have all assumptions to carry out the life. Khatavanga Maharaj, One muhurta, 48 minutes. And he got to know, like, according to this, one muhurta is one moment in the heavenly plans. Because he was heaven. He got to know one moment equivalent to 48 minutes here. In 48 minutes, completely devoted to Krishna, he went back to Godhead. So that complete conviction, the faith on the Lord, or his pure devotees, we can achieve our desired goal. Just I finished with the last one thing. Yesterday we were having the Amrish Maharaj class discussion. So in the brief, when Durvasa comes back to Amrish Maharaj, and Amrish Maharaj, the humility was unparalleled. He prays to Sudarshana, if at all I have done any pious credit, if I have, if whole our family or the whole generation has done any good activities, please go away and please leave it, Durvasa Muni. So when Durvasa Muni saw such a scenario, his heart became melted. Then there is something called glorification by Durvasa Muni to Amrish Maharaj. Beautiful slokas are there with the Durvasa Muni glorifying a devotee. So in one of the sloka, which is said by our famous Rishi Durvasa, for those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master, the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up. So if one takes the true shelter of Krishna, then everything becomes possible by the devotee to do. So that faith and convictions that we have in the Lord is nothing is impossible, which cannot be done or which cannot be given up. Either way. To achieve, to giving up also anything. So that transcendental knowledge, Prabhupada beautiful right, for the purpose. So that transcendental knowledge, if it's realized in the heart, then there's no struggle as such, because everything aligned with the teachings of Krishna. So here we'll be seeing further how Brahma, being a very devoted to the Supreme Lord, and by the mercy of the Lord, he could able to create such a wonderful atmosphere where the jiva can gradually improve or head towards the spiritual path. So the whole purpose of the whole material existence to purify the jiva, to purify the animal propensities. So that's the whole purpose of this creation. So this can be achieved by systematically following the instructions given in the Shastra, especially in this context, following the properly Varna Ashrama system. And Kali Yuga, this Varna Ashrama will not work like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Ramananda Rai, when he says Varna Ashrama, he says, Eho Bhaya Aage Kaho. He says, only this is external. In the Kali Yuga, his only way to chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's the only ways to purify the hearts. No other process will work. So I will stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Purusha Prabhupada Nitaya Go Prem Nandi Hare Hare.